Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos because today we are going deep into one of the most unusual, strange, and telling spectacles in modern American politics. The headline that has been circulating. Trump covers Epstein files with Escalator drama and declares war on TikTok plus Tylenol. Sounds like a mixture of political scandal, comedy, and reality television. But behind this bizarre presentation lies a pattern that tells us a lot about political theater, manipulation, and the cost of distraction. At first glance it feels absurd, like a late-night sketch, but when broken down layer by layer, it reveals itself as a carefully staged show, engineered to shift attention, dominate the news cycle, and reshape public discussion. The very first hook, the very choice of staging an escalator entrance, is not an accident, but a deliberate attempt to recreate a nostalgic flashback to the launch of Trump's first presidential campaign. By invoking that imagery, Trump essentially hits rewind and pulls audiences into a storyline where he is once again the star. This is the exterior of the story, glittering, bold, and designed to catch the eye, but beneath the exterior lies something far more strategic. The surface of this event is almost cinematic. The slow-motion walk down an escalator, the bright lights, the cameras flashing, and the familiar sense of déjà vu create a spectacle that instantly draws in both supporters and critics. On the outside, this looks like nothing more than another Trump stunt, but the exterior exists for one reason: to steal the headlines away from something much darker. At the very moment files connected to Jeffrey Epstein were beginning to resurface, threatening to reopen wounds and possibly implicate high-profile names, Trump ensured that the spotlight wasn't on hidden documents or powerful connections, but instead on his latest performance. This exterior layer is pure distraction, shiny enough to keep cameras rolling, dramatic enough to stir emotions, and exaggerated enough to ensure memes, sound bites, and endless commentary. It works exactly the way a flashy car design works. You may forget the technical flaws under the hood because the paint job dazzles you first. Once you peel back that glossy exterior, you enter the interior, and here the entire design looks much tighter, more compact, and controlled. The inside of this political machine is not spontaneous, it is deliberately engineered. Trump and his team know how timing operates in the media world, how social platforms amplify drama, and how repetition engraves a story into public memory. The escalator entrance was chosen to spark nostalgia among supporters who remember 2015, while his sudden declaration of war against TikTok tapped into growing concerns about Chinese influence and the digital future of American youth. Then, with one stroke of absurdity, dragging Tylenol into the narrative, he added an element so odd that the entire package became meme-worthy. The interior design is clever because it knows how to weaponize attention. Short, compact messages delivered in powerful but simple bursts ensure the narrative cannot be ignored. Unlike the cluttered and complicated real issues like Epstein files or corporate lobbying, these punchy lines are easy to digest and easy to repeat. Performance is where Trump excels, and here the spectacle truly becomes a show. He has always understood that politics in the age of social media is not just about governing, it is about performance, storytelling, and keeping audiences hooked. In this case, the performance blended nostalgia, aggression, and absurdity into a single package. Declaring war on TikTok allowed him to tap into existing fears about surveillance, national security, and youth culture being controlled by foreign apps. At the same time, mentioning Tylenol added a comedic twist, ensuring the headline didn't just feel like politics but like a circus people couldn't look away from. It was not about offering detailed policy but about capturing attention in a way no opponent could match. Trump's performance has always been marked by exaggeration, gestures, and punchlines, and this case was no different. The escalator became a stage, the audience became participants in the show, and the media became his unwilling amplifiers. Whether you loved it or hated it, you couldn't escape it, and that is the essence of performance politics. But just like any vehicle, any spectacle, there should be safety features, and here is where the cracks appear. In traditional leadership, safety features protect the public from chaos, ensure truth is safeguarded, and make sure decisions are made with responsibility. But in this spectacle, The safety mechanisms are not designed to protect the public. They are designed to protect Trump himself. By staging a distraction, he builds a shield against scrutiny, ensuring that conversations about Epstein files lose their urgency. The safety features are personal, not collective. They serve as airbags for Trump's image, not for the nation's well-being. And just like a poorly designed car, these safety features can fail spectacularly because distraction is not a long-term solution. The risk is that the more you rely on diversions, the more people grow suspicious, and the more they begin asking what exactly is being hidden. The performance may win the moment, but it endangers the long-term credibility of both politics and media. What makes this entire display unique, however, are its selling points. Trump has always been a master of turning politics into entertainment, and this case is perhaps one of the clearest examples. No other figure can take three unrelated elements, Epstein files, an escalator, and TikTok, stitch them together, and produce a viral show that dominates every headline. The uniqueness lies in his unpredictability. His supporters see him as a fighter, someone unafraid to make wild statements, while his critics can't resist amplifying his antics because they seem too outrageous to ignore. This mix of nostalgia, nationalism, and absurd comedy becomes a unique package, a brand that only Trump can sell. His unique selling proposition is not policy clarity or consistency, it is the guarantee of drama, the guarantee that he will be the story, and the guarantee that he will dominate conversation whether people want him to or not. However, the price tag of this spectacle is steep, though not for Trump himself. The cost is borne by the public, by society, and by the truth. Every time a spectacle like this takes over the headlines, serious issues like the Epstein files, the questions of accountability, and the deeper corruption in power structures get buried under layers of distraction. The price is a democracy that talks more about stunts than substance, a public that debates whether Tylenol is the new enemy instead of asking why files are hidden, and a media system that is trapped between exposing truth and chasing clicks. For Trump, the cost is minimal because the spectacle keeps him in the spotlight, fuels his base, and paints him as a fighter. But for the nation, the bill is heavy, measured in loss of focus, erosion of trust, and a society fed with endless drama rather than real answers. In the end, this strange headline, Trump covers Epstein files with escalator drama and declares war on TikTok plus Tylenol, is more than a meme. It is a masterclass in political theater, showing how exterior flash distracts from interior strategy, how performance can dominate truth, how safety mechanisms protect the powerful rather than the public, and how unique selling points like unpredictability and drama can outweigh substance. But the conclusion is sobering. The public pays the highest price. The Epstein files remain buried in shadows, TikTok continues to dominate youth culture, Tylenol remains an absurd scapegoat, and the political arena remains a stage where drama is rewarded more than truth. The spectacle may entertain, it may provoke laughter, and it may fuel endless commentary, but it also robs the public of clarity, accountability, and focus. And perhaps that is the ultimate lesson of this entire event. In the theater of politics, the show can often replace the truth, and the cost is always higher than it first appears. This is why we must look beyond the flashing lights, the dramatic performances, and the clever distractions. The escalator entrance is just a symbol, the war on TikTok is just a headline, and the mention of Tylenol is just a punchline. The real story is the one deliberately hidden, the story that powerful people do not want discussed, and the files that still remain locked. Only by refusing to be distracted, by questioning the performance, and by demanding accountability can the public shift the balance back. Because as long as the show dominates, truth will remain in the shadows, and the people will continue